I think that I fully expected Chelsea to get something from the game today, if I'm being honest. I was very impressed with them at Stamford Bridge against Man City. It was a fantastic game. And I'd been predicting all week that they'd go to Newcastle and get something. You can never write Newcastle off at St James's Park. And I want to give a big shout out to Miley, the 17-year-old in the midfield. What a game he had against a good Chelsea midfield. But they had no rhythm. It was almost like that Man City game was a different team. They were played off the park. They defended atrociously, but on top of that, they attacked badly as well. It was an overall disgusting performance from Chelsea, and it's more disgusting because they'd done reasonably well before the international break, certainly against Man City and Spurs, all right, against 9 men at one point, but that has just been a complete and utter momentum killer. Now, they can sweep it under the carpet as international break, but they've got Brighton next week, then they've got Manchester United. I think there has to be questions of Pochettino as well. I mean, look at Ange. He's got 10 points more than Pochettino. He hasn't had £1 billion. He hasn't got that squad. Chelsea got 16 points and Spurs have got 26. That's not good enough. I know Pochettino's a media darling, but that is not good enough. And there has to be an element of pressure, because I heard people today saying, well, no, you can't sack Pochettino. It's a long-term project. I'm like, we're nearly in December. They've won 4, drawn 4 and lost 5. And they've just been absolutely bantered by Newcastle, who are bringing, unknowns on for the last 10 minutes. That's not good enough for Chelsea. You have spent a lot of money. It will take a bit of time. But look at Eddie Howe's Newcastle, look at Ange, look at Aston Villa. All right, they might not win every game, but you can see the system, you can see the coaching, you can see the plan. And Chelsea today were unrecognisable. That's not good enough. Not good enough at all. Let's hear from another Chelsea fan. We've got Pat the Geezer. What were your thoughts today, Pat?
Right, Mark, let me calm you down a little bit. Number one, Pochettino ain't spent £1 billion. That's something he hasn't done. Now, I didn't go to the game today. I had it with Paul Merson on the telly.
Yeah.
Now, if we'd have taken our chances, it'd have been a different game. And we didn't. Now, I agree with Charlie, who had the right arm there, but Reece James getting sent off. He's supposed to be a leader.
Mm.
But I do agree with... This is Chelsea we're talking about. I do agree with you on some points. But it can't all be aimed at Pochettino. Now, I said to you a couple of weeks ago when I phoned you, I said, you watch. I said, we'll probably go to Tottenham and get a result, as you just quite rightly said, against 9 men. But we got the result. We got the 3 points. We turned up for Manchester City. On another day, we'd have beat them. Now, you just...
It's a good performance.
Said again, we got Brighton and we got Manchester United in our next 2 games. I think we beat Brighton. I know you're a Man United fan, Mark, and I'm not being funny here. I think we'll probably turn Man United over. It seems to be that these top teams are the ones that we're turning over, because on another day, we'd have beat Newcastle. But if you're not taking your chances, it ain't going to happen. But that's not down to Pochettino. He's on the sidelines. The players are on the pitch. They've got to turn up, not just Pochettino. But stick with him. I know I said it last time I spoke to you, Mark. Stick with him. We're not at Christmas yet. Nothing's won before Christmas. Nothing's won or lost before Christmas. You are 100% right. Results have got to be picked better, and we've got to pick points up. There's no getting away from that. But no need to panic. The panic button don't start till the end of the season. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Exactly. Thank you, Pat. He did call in a couple of weeks. He's the voice of reason. You know what? I'm not a Chelsea fan. I always listen to the fans of the club, and that's ultimately who will decide what happens with it. My 2 pennies worth is, wouldn't be sacking Pochettino in a million years. I think he's, you know what? I actually think he's a bit of a victim of we had it with Man United. Loads of people said, get Pochettino instead of Ten Hag. And I was like, look, Pochettino's a good coach. He did brilliantly well at Spurs, but he ain't Pep Guardiola and he isn't Jurgen Klopp. And I think sometimes he gets held up as that. Where is the CV that he is the guy that can win titles? I don't think he is that guy. What he can do, and must be given the time to do it, is build a system that was very good at Southampton and was very good at Spurs. And Chelsea, it's going to take time. And I wouldn't be sacking him, because if you do that, my big stance on the show last season was that I thought Potter was a decent coach who should have been given more time, but the Chelsea fans didn't like it. It's their club. It changed, and Todd Boehly made the change. It seems to me that the Chelsea fans are more in tune with Pochettino. I think you do have to be patient. I agree with Pat the Geezer, but that's not acceptable from Chelsea today as well, and you must call it out. I'm not saying Pochettino needs to be sacked, but I'm saying that that's not acceptable from them today, and I agree with Pat that the next two games are absolutely massive for them.